On February 10, 2025, the U.S. Air Force's most secretive project finally revealed its true face. In a briefing for Navy Industry Day, the U.S. military's latest long-range air-to-air missile, the AIM-260, finally had its confirmed design. Although the missile's image only took up a small corner of the presentation slide, and Air Force spokespeople claimed that the technical details of the Joint Advanced Tactical Missile Program, codenamed JATM, remain highly classified. Even this single image is enough to give us a glimpse of the world's most advanced air-to-air missile. When Russia's MiG-31 launched the R-37M missile with a range of 400 kilometers over Ukraine, a red alert went off at the Pentagon. Despite the Russian Air Force not achieving decisive victories in the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the combination of the R-37M and MiG-31 indicated that the AIM-120 missile system, which had dominated the skies for 30 years, was beginning to lose its absolute supremacy in beyond visual range combat. Let's take a look at some data. The AIM-120 AMRAAM, developed by Hughes Aircraft in the late 1980s, was designed to replace the aging AIM-54 Phoenix. The most recent version, the AIM-120D, achieved initial operational capability in 2015, making significant breakthroughs in almost every performance metric. For example, its maximum speed exceeds Mach 4. Its range increased by 50%, reaching 160 to 180 kilometers. It is equipped with a bidirectional data link, allowing NATO forces to separate missile firing and guidance. With its expanded no-escape zone and improved off-axis capability, once an enemy aircraft is locked by an AIM-120D, it's virtually guaranteed to be shot down. On the other hand, the R-37M, NATO code AA-13AX, was developed from the R-33 long-range air-to-air missile. Originally designed in the early 1980s, the R-37M project was abandoned after the collapse of the Soviet Union due to cost issues, but was revived in 2006 as part of MiG-31 modernization. The missile completed operational testing in 2018. Despite its tumultuous history, its power cannot be underestimated. With an extra booster and larger missile size, the R-37M has a range of up to 150 kilometers in level flight, or an astounding 400 kilometers with a high-trajectory launch. With a maximum speed of Mach 6 and a 60-kilogram high-explosive warhead, the R-37M can target and destroy important units like AWACS even far behind enemy lines. Since October 2022, the R-37M has been a nightmare for Ukrainian pilots. Several Ukrainian aircraft have been shot down by the MiG-31 launched R-37M. Some Ukrainian pilots have shared in interviews that, due to the MiG-31's high altitude and speed, Russian pilots can use the R-37M with radar guidance and implement a fire-and-forget strategy, allowing them to engage Ukrainian aircraft from a distance of up to 400 kilometers. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian Air Force's R-27ER semi-active radar missile has a maximum range of only 100 kilometers and requires continuous radar lock during flight. Since Ukrainian aircraft rely on older avionics systems, it's difficult to maintain a consistent radar lock on the MiG-31. Ukrainian pilots have said that the purpose of the R-37M is often not to directly destroy Ukrainian aircraft, but to force pilots to abandon their missions and evade the incoming missile. In this air-to-air missile arms race, the U.S. Air Force initiated a top-secret program in 2017 with one goal: to create the most advanced missile system, leaving all others far behind. Since the establishment of the JATM program in 2017, the media had only known its name and endless speculation. Its detailed parameters remained a top secret within the U.S. military. Over the years, aside from a few artistic concept images, the appearance of the AIM-260 was a mystery. In the 2020 fiscal year, the Air Force even allocated $6.5 million to build a custom storage facility at Hill Air Force Base for the JATM. It wasn't until early February 2025 that the Navy released a public briefing, which included various naval projects, and, for the first time, mentioned the development of the JATM and the true form of the AIM-260. Currently, there are 3 renderings of the AIM-260. One appeared in a presentation of the F-22 modernization program. Another was a leaked image from the initial stages of the AIM-260 project, and the final one was released in the early 2025 PMA 259 briefing. While there are slight differences between the missiles and the renderings, all 3 images showcase the same core missile design. In terms of size, according to the U.S. military itself, the AIM-260 is the same size as the current AIM-120, with a length of about 3.6 meters and a diameter of 7 inches. The technological approach isn't simply about increasing the missile's size to improve its range and speed, but rather focuses on refining internal missile technologies, increasing thrust and power duration, enabling greater range and speed without increasing the missile size. In terms of design, the missile is specially optimized for high speed and low drag, with an overall slender and smooth shape with 4 fins only at the rear. However, the excellent aerodynamics are just a small part of what enables the AIM-260 to achieve long-range performance. The real advantage lies in its completely new rocket engine. If we compare the AIM-120 and AIM-260 side by side, besides the differences in the control surfaces, there is one clear distinction: their coatings. To facilitate identification and maintenance, NATO missiles use a standardized color coding system, from which many details about the missile can be inferred visually. For example, a yellow ring indicates the start of the high explosive warhead. A brown ring denotes a low explosive section typically associated with solid rocket propellants. A blue ring indicates a training round. By comparing, it can be observed that the yellow ring on the AIM-120 is positioned further back than on the AIM-260, indicating a smaller warhead on the AIM-260. The length lost from the warhead section has been added to the propulsion section. The 2 brown rings on the AIM-260 mark the start and end of the warhead within the missile, clearly showing that its propulsion section is much longer than the AIM-120's, thus extending the missile's range. Previously, the rocket propellant length of the AIM-120D made up about 25% of the missile's total length. In contrast, the AIM-260's propellant length is about 40% of its total length, an increase of 60% compared to the AIM-120D. As a result, even if the engine's specific impulse and fuel type remain the same, and there are no additional weight-saving measures, the theoretical range of the AIM-260 could extend by 60%, reaching over 250 kilometers. However, even with this extended range, the AIM-260 still cannot fully dominate the R-37M. The real factor in the AIM-260's range increase is its use of a new type of rocket fuel. Generally, missile range can be extended in several ways. One is using an air-breathing engine, where external airflow helps improve the rocket engine's efficiency, a solution used by Europe's Meteor missile. Another method is to employ a booster rocket, as seen in the R-37M. Currently, it seems that the AIM-260 does neither, but instead improves its rocket fuel formulation, switching to a dual-pulse engine to enhance fuel's heat value and combustion efficiency, resulting in a significant increase in range. This is validated by the previously released AGM-88G AARGM-ER missile. Compared to the earlier AGM-88E, the AGM-88G, despite having a smaller body, flies faster. Its maximum range has doubled to 300 kilometers from the previous 150 kilometers. This is primarily due to 2 factors. First, the aerodynamic shape of the AGM-88G was significantly optimized, replacing the 4 double triangular wings of the previous model with 2 longitudinal wing surfaces integrated into the missile body and reducing the size of the 4 tail fins. This optimized shape increased the missile's speed while maintaining enough lift. Second, the AARGM-ER uses a new type of solid rocket fuel combined with a new generation of dual-pulse solid rocket engines, greatly increasing thrust and thereby enhancing both speed and range. The Naval Air Systems Command noted in 2023 that the next-generation rocket propellant module is ready, and a new propulsion system can extend missile range by 1.5 times. Based on this, even without aerodynamic shape optimization, the most conservative estimate for the AIM-260's range is over 360 kilometers. From this summary, it's clear that the trend of increasing air-to-air missile ranges is unstoppable. Just as the Ukrainian Air Force faces the dilemma of long-range missiles, launching missiles from beyond an enemy's defense zone means that even if the launch platform itself lacks stealth capability, it still has a high degree of survivability and firepower projection. This is a significant advantage for modern regional denial or anti-access area denial strategies.